Alright guys, today we're running some more 7018 but vertical. So we're running 332 7018 low hydrogen rods, and how we're going to run them is... Alright, what we're going to do, don't judge my last pass, this is some 532 rod that was burned. I was playing with it. So on this right here, strike down. We're going to start in the corner and we're just going to go pass by pass by pass by pass. The first one we're going to put right here. I like to weave it. You don't really need to weave it. It's going to penetrate the same, either if you weave it or you don't. We're just going to go straight up like this. About this speed too. So we're not really going that fast, but how we start it, always, you can just strike the metal like that and it should start right up. If it doesn't, check your connections. Make sure everything's grounded. You got all your metal cleaned off before this. So you can see it's all shiny. You know, I hit it with a wire wheel, so it's nice and clean. So be easy to strike on. You know, strike it. All right, here we go. Just gonna keep feeding that rod. It's all about feeding it. I'm not even weaving it, I'm just letting it get into the material. It's burning pretty good. I'm going to stop it right there so I don't burn my hand. Now we're going to grind into it with a wire wheel. All right, by far, not the best what I put out there, right? But it's kind of how you want it looking. Just nice and formal. You kind of see I kind of had a hiccup right there, some undercut. Kind of bouncing on this wobbly ass stand, but you know, I like coming up with excuses on it. So, you know, I kind of had a hiccup there. It happens. At least it's on a test piece, not a project, or I'd be grinding that out. So, as you can see, we didn't go all the way to the top. So we're gonna have to start off on this. Do a little strike. Start off right here. You're supposed to grind these down with a grinder before you start onto it. To all your starts and stops, you grind, grind, grind. So for video purposes, I'm gonna be out here all night. I'm not gonna grind it because I'm lazy. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna strike, stay on this for like 2 seconds, and then start going up, or like half a second. You know, not long at all. We're just trying to make it look good, and then we're gonna finish it up here. So let's get started in on that. Let me just start from the bottom. All right, I lied. So we're just doing another pass on the side. I figured that'd be the best way to do it. They're putting in our second pass. All right, guys, we're gonna start in with the second pass here. I'm gonna start from the top, just strike it and come on down with it. to the top. I'm gonna wire wheel it off. All right, that's the second pass there. As you can see, it's pretty consistent. I just kind of held the rod there while I'm doing it. You can watch it eat into that metal and just make sure you're feeding when you're doing vertical. You know, I feel like you put in more material when you're welding vertical. Just like that. A little bit at an angle, right? Just go up like that. The metal's getting hotter, so I'm gonna lower my amperage about like 2 amps, 2-3 amps, probably 5 amps. So we're gonna start into it again. All right, I need to add in the video. See, whenever I'm doing that with my hand to that rod, so that means I'm checking it for any type of missing flux on there, any type of missing chunks off there. With cheap rods, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have missing flux on it and whatnot. So just check over your rods, make sure you know they look good and they're not gonna fall apart on you. Check for rust too. If they got rust, don't use them. So just watch out for that. Not the best experience on touching this hot metal with my pinky. Freehanding it. I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna fuck it up a little bit. Alright, we're just letting it eat the metal away, putting that new material in there. Alright, we're about done with this rod. Alright. Now we're gonna get another rod and start feeding it in there. Alright guys, I kind of held it a little bit too long up there, as you can see. So it's kind of getting a little hump on there. It's supposed to grind your starts and stops. Looks pretty good. I'm leaving some undercut right there. Well, not really undercut. That's the deepest part of there. The hardest part about welding on metal is trying to cover up the other weld on there. It's just having humps and whatnot from that 532 that bigger rod that I was using. Wasn't really paying attention to that one, but as long as you make it look good on these passes right here. So they got the first one, second, third one there. As long as you make it look good and grind in there, it should look pretty good. It's in there now. Alright guys, we just covered the basics. So doing vertical welding, and you got to do some hands-on if you're trying to really learn this. You know, learn welding. It looks easy on video, but you really got to get out there and weld. You know, burn some rod, try it out, see if it's a good fit for you, see if you can do it or not. and make sure we're grinding your starts and stops, because that's what gets you too. And just like I was saying earlier, cover up your second weld 20%. You don't want to just cover it up a little bit so it looks even. You don't want any craters in between each weld that you're doing. That can trap water, debris. I mean, the only time that's good is when you're hard facing, and we'll get to that soon, hopefully. The hard facing rods are kind of expensive, so whenever I can get to them, I'll start burning them, do a video on it, show you how to do them. Probably the same aspect of this, like we're going to do a video with flat, vertical, and overhead. Hopefully you're not hard facing overhead. That's going to suck. Next week, we're going to do overhead. So we're just going to do 3 passes next week. We're doing some overhead. Highly advised, buy a cheap machine. Get yourself a little Amico 200 amp welder. It's a good welder. It's cheap. It's under $200. You want something you can plug into a 220 outlet, or I've seen like these little weird things where you can hook up, it's like a cord in a little box, right? You hook a 1 to 1 breaker, 120 to 1 breaker, 120 to another. It connects to this little green light pops on, then you can hook up a welder to it. I don't know how good those are. I wouldn't burn anything over a 1/8 with those. But having a dedicated 220 outlet, like a dryer or an oven outlet, those work pretty good. And then having an extension running. I got an extension running on that one. But yeah, get yourself a nice 200 amp welder, something you can do TIG on too. So any stick welder, you can also TIG weld on it too. TIG weld, you just switch these guys around. You can hook up your ground up to a TIG torch. I got one over there, but you can hook up to it and you can start TIG welding. I think that would be a good video to do too, but we're gonna stick with stick this week. We're gonna knock it out. All right, guys, that's it for today. Like and subscribe. Comment if you got any ideas or anything I should do. I like doing little projects here at the house. But yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll get to it next week on overhead. Not happy about that, but I'll do it just to post on YouTube and show you guys on how to do it right and the correct way. There's a lot of guys out there, they just they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So that's what I'm doing, just showing you guys the basics. But you got to get out there and burn rod. All right.